Everyone, welcome to another Painting with Jay. As always, my name is Jay, so grab a brush, grab some models, grab some paints, paint along with me. Let's rid the world of unpainted models. And this week I'm going to continue working on my Dark Angel Tactical Marines. I'm probably going to be done after this week. I don't think I'll be working on them next week, so next week I'll probably be working on some Terminators, cleaning up some stuff, and then I think I'm going to take a break from Dark Angels. It'll be good. I think almost all my Dark Angels will be painted. And then I'll start my next journey. Maybe Necrons, maybe a commission. It'll all be good. So, yeah, let's get started on painting, and I'll talk about my week. So, hey everyone. Today, as I said, I'll be working on my Tactical Marines. Here they all are. As you can see, I've gotten some progress on them in the last week. They're basically like, this is going to almost be battle report worthy. You know, it's not terrible at all. I just got to do the golds after this, the gaps in the armor with gray liner. Today I'll be working on the reds, so I will be taking some Evil Sun Scarlet and just working on the reds, and that'll be the goal. I don't think this will take me the whole video, so then after that I'll probably start on the black gaps in the armor, and if I get that done, which I don't think that'll probably take me to the rest of the video, but if I somehow get that done as well in my hour of work, I will then work on the golds. And then they're pretty much done. I'll do a clean up on each one. And then base. And they'll be good for next week. You know, I don't think, as I said, next week, by the time next week hits, I don't think I will be working on them. I should be done them easily before next week. And then next week I'll work on some cleaning up some Terminators or something. Because my Terminators need a little bit of TLC. They need some love because it's just been so long since I made them and painted them that they just need a little love. So I'll pull them from my studio and work on them for a week. Which will be good, because then I'll have a bunch of painted Dark Angels. And it's nice. You know, I'm going to have some versatility in my lists. Well, yeah, some. And it'll all be good. I'm excited to have this all done. So what I'm doing right now is just adding some Lamia Medium to my paints. That way it's nice and thin. And, yeah. I should put up some pictures on like Facebook or something. Or maybe do a video update or something. I think that'd be cool after I'm all done my Dark Angels. Because I'm working on them for a while now. You know, I started with the Ravenwing a while ago. So that's that. I've had a good week. You know, overall, my back is really out this week, though, I find. But happens. Getting old. So it happens, you know. But I've had a really good week. It's been a pretty productive week. I'm putting the finishing touches on that next. How to Play 40K, which will be up hopefully today. And what else? It's been a good week. I've been pretty much on top of my videos. So that was good, you know. Yeah, it's been a good week. I like, you know, I'm slowly but surely figuring out how to work my schedule so that it is more efficient. You know, this week, even in the free content, you're getting you got the battle report already. I got to put up the post game. I forgot to put up the post game. Sorry about that. I totally spaced on putting up the post game. With Trevor, it was a great game. Demons. It was Khorne Demonkin versus Dark Angels, and it was a fun game. I really enjoyed seeing the Demonkin. I've never played against them yet, and I knew that blood type points would be fun, and that was really wacky. But my favorite thing of the entire game was actually the Dark Angel psychic powers. It was pretty funny. If you watch the battle report, you'll know why. That was a good game. And what else? Miniature Painting 101. We're in the hair section of the free content, and in the paid content in the warp, we're in. It was an interesting subject. Basically, somebody brought it to my attention that a lot of us who do painting tutorials, like I do a lot of painting tutorials in the warp, obviously, use the term, hot, cold, cooler, warmer colors without really describing what that is. And a relatively new painter was like, "What is that?" So I made the latest Miniature Painting 101 in the warp is about hotter and cooler colors and the spectrum of temperature in colors. That was kind of cool to make. And I realized that should have been a video that I made like long ago. But oops. Yeah. It got made eventually. That's what matters. Better late than never. I just never realized that it was never defined. So everyone, yeah, definitely go check out. As always, I do one blatant commercial per video. If you want to help support my videos, feel free to please go check out either my Patreon campaign or the Warp, link in the description below, for both, because both will help support me and keep me making videos. So yeah, let's talk about the last week. What happened? So first of all, Halloween. Halloween came and gone. It was fun. I had a good time. I stayed back, of course, and handed out candy. A lot of cute kids, and yeah, it was a good time. Really good time. This year I didn't get any of those tweens. I usually get like, you know what I mean? I call them the tweens, but like the people showing up like an hour after the other kids. Like one's like wearing a garbage bag and being like, "I'm a garbage bag," or something, like something stupid costume, and then they're like candy. But I didn't get any of those this year. But actually, at the time, if they came, I would have welcomed them because I had so much candy left over. I bought like a 90 pack of chocolate bars, and I prefer not to eat them myself because I just don't need the calories. But yeah, in the end, I gave away like 60 of the chocolate bars, I think. So 30 for my wife and I. Oops. I always love the fact that they go on sale like 2 weeks before Halloween because the stores know that the adults are just going to eat them all and then have to buy more for full price. And then the day after Halloween, they go back to half off. It's funny. Yeah, it was a good time. I didn't dress up in costume, though I did put pictures on my Facebook page of my Crazy Eyes pumpkin. I really enjoyed it. So, that was good. But yeah, I always like Halloween. And I've decided that next year, if I have the money to spare, which, if we're in the same area, like I don't think I'll be moving, I don't think I'll be moving between now and then. I might, you never know. But, so what was I saying? Yeah, so I've decided that if I'm in the same house, because I know I've gotten about the same number 2 years in a row, I'm going to do something awesome, in my opinion. I am going to give away next year. I think I'm going to be the guy who gives away the full-size candy bars. Chocolate bars. Because I know I can get them for not a bad price. Like, you can buy them at Costco, well in advance. About a month in advance for a good price. And, yeah, like, when I was a kid, if someone gave out a full-size chocolate bar, like, it made your night. It was like the holy grail of finds, and I just want to do that because if I only get I only got like 25 kids, I could buy 2 or 3 10-packs of chocolate bars. Now I'll buy some extra ones because I anticipate kids talking and being like, "Hey, that guy's giving away full-size candy bars." But I said I'm going to do that. because I think it'd be a really cool thing, and it would make some kids' nights. And I know what some people are saying, like, okay, do they need extra calories and sugar and stuff? But it's one night a year, and it would really make their night. I think it would make their night awesome, you know, especially this year, because like this year, I should zoom in a little bit. This is really a little. Let's zoom in here. Better. So like this year, no house on either side of me. Like, sorry, on my block, for example, after my house, I'm at a corner. But the next 4 houses didn't even give away candy. They just, turned off their lights and just ignored people all night. So there weren't a lot of people on my street actually giving out candy. And I think that's why a lot of kids didn't come to our part of the street. So, yeah, that'd be good. I've decided that I'm going to do that next year. Mark my words. I am determined. I think I did his eyes already. I'll do them again just in case. Quick comparison. Yeah, I did his eyes already. I did a Tau Codex review. Feel free to go check it out. If you're not offended easily that I felt the Tau Codex was the Tau gun line is boring. And I expressed that. And let's just say several people didn't like that. But it's my opinion. And that I still stand by it. It's just my opinion. And I said, in my opinion, it's boring. And I didn't say that the Codex is entirely boring. I said that the preferred play style that the Codex wants you to play, which is the gun line, right? All the special rules are for the gun line, basically, other than a couple, but they're almost all towards a gun line. It's just a boring play style, in my opinion, because I like games to have more than one phase. And I know what people say. Like, people keep defending the Tau Codex and saying, which it's not a bad codex. As I said, it's competitive and it's an update and it's good. Like, I don't even think they should have called it an update. I think they should have called it a 7th edition codex. Because there was plenty of new information in it. The formations, all that stuff. It was good. I just, there are plenty of shooty armies in the game. Right? Like Astra Militarum, very shooty army. Terrible in close combat. They don't get anything that denies the assault phase. They're just as vulnerable. And what I really like about 40k is that trade-off between the assault phase and the shooting phase. But with the book like Tau, they pretty much get they get all of the shooting with very little of the assault phase because all those special rules. By the time an opponent gets to the Tau, they're going to have half their army blown away. And some armies, like, let's take the other end of the spectrum, orcs, Tyranids, demons. They're very assaulty, right? They're the assault armies. And they're very weak in the shooting phase. Like, take orcs. Orcs, like, people are like, well, Tau's weapon skills 2. Orcs' ballistic skills 2, which means orcs are just as bad in the shooting phase as Tau are in the assault phase. Right? I know weapon skill, ballistic skill are slightly different. But orcs have nothing. There's not a single special rule to deny for orcs to deny your opponent the shooting phase. You can't say to your opponent, I'm sorry, my orcs aren't very good at shooting. You're much better than me. So I'm going to try to deny you a shooting phase. It's not going to happen. Orcs are going to get shot, and they're going to die. Same with Tyranids. They're going to get shot, and they're going to die. And demons too, right, on their way to their opponent. There's nothing that they can be like, oh, I'm sorry, my army is inferior in this aspect, so they have a special rule to deny you from shooting at them. Right? If that happened, people would be very much up in arms. But with Tau, they're like, okay, we're terrible at assault, so we have special rules in place to deny our opponent the assault phase, or to just kill them before they even get there. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying it was boring. Oh well. There's some good updates in it. I like the idea of the Flying Monster Creature HQ. That's kind of cool. They seem to be getting a lot of monster creatures in town. They have like 4 or 5 monstrous creatures. It's a little crazy. Because armies like Tyranids only have like 6 or 7 monstrous creatures. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Well, it's an interesting codex. I'm hoping that like Chaos Space Marines get an update soon. Apparently, there's gonna be a 30K box release. And if that happens, I'm definitely gonna try to pick it up. I think I'd love to learn the basics of 30K. Paint it up, do some tutorials for it. That'd be good. I think it'd be really fun to learn 30K. There's a couple people I bet would like to play me 30K in this area. Yeah, I think that'd be good. That'd be really cool. Yeah, the new Tau. As I said, I'm kind of surprised that they called an update. I think they should have just called a new codex because there was, as I said, there was more new information in that codex than like Grey Knights. Grey Knights and Dark Eldar, very little changed when they got their update to 7th edition. Some point counts changed, but mostly it was just like removal of HQs and squads with no models. Right? That was pretty much it. Grey Knights didn't get a single new model, and I'm pretty sure Dark Eldar didn't either. But Tau got plenty, so I said they should have just called it a new codex. It felt like a new codex to me. It was very 7th edition-y. Had relics, had a formation and a detachment and special rules, and yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm also debating right now of signing up. One of my associates through the WGC is doing a painting course in Montreal coming up. I'm thinking about taking it. It's a bit expensive because I don't have that kind of money right now. But I don't know. I would love to. She's a professional miniature painter, but like not a commission painter. She's a studio painter basically. Like she paints models for pictures and the boxes kind of thing. You know. So I think that'd be kind of cool to learn from her. And I'm not a bad painter, but I'm not that level painter. And I think it'd be good to step up my game, especially if I want to actually give a good shot of going for like a crystal brush. So I'm thinking about that. It just would involve me driving down to Montreal for the weekend, but I'd probably go see my friend Patrick at the same time, and I'll make a weekend out of it. That'd be good. So I'm thinking about that. I think it'll be good. I'm just seeing if I have the funds. Ran out of paint, so I gotta get more paint in my palette. Yeah, I didn't think that this was going to take up all the time. I'm already done more than half of them, and it's only been 19 minutes. That's good. They said the amount that you get done in an hour by just setting your time. Excuse me, setting aside your time. Oh, I have to do another red after this. I just remember I'll have to do the last color of the eyes, but that's okay. There'll still be plenty of time. These guys are like I could already. This is basically what a lot of people would call battle report standard, right? Like nothing against mini wargaming, but lately they've been putting out battle reports with miniatures painted way less than these. You know. I'm just gonna quickly use this brush that I used to mix it and paint a couple of these arrows. I'm very much looking forward to Brawl in the Hall, which is next weekend. Next Saturday. I'll probably vlog it. That'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. I get to play Imperial Knights. I'm just excited. I'm going to bring I think a 4-night list. I really wanted 5, but no. I don't think that'll happen. So I just don't know what to do with my points. Because the thing is with Knights is that they're so rigid in points. There's not a lot of points for upgrades. That certain points costs are hard. And with 4 Knights, 1850 is hard. So I've been looking at my list. And I don't know. Like the thing is, the points cost wise, Cypher would be an easy addition, right? Because Cypher can go with any Imperial army. And he has a couple fun rules. Like he has Stealth and Shrouded and whatever. Eternal Warrior, I think. Maybe not Eternal. I think Eternal Warrior, maybe not. But the thing is with him, he's fun, but he's not really amazing. Like he has a couple good. He can shoot his guns, but his guns are both very close oriented. Versus a cheaper idea like a Vindicare Assassin, which is I think what I'm going to go for. Now the Vindicare Assassin is only half the points cost I have left because I have like 280 points to spend right now, and Vindicare Assassin is only 150. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the other 130. Probably give an upgrade to one of my HQs or to one of my my Knights as the HQ model, and then don't know. Probably just play short. Like play a 1750 in an 1850 tournament. Because I really don't have anything for 100 points. I was thinking maybe like a Ravenwing detachment. But Ravenwing detachments are minimum of 350, I'm pretty sure. And I don't have that kind of points left. I'm not going to throw away a Knight to bring in more Ravenwing. I want to play Knights. Like I don't want to. To me, this is my opportunity to go out and have a good time and play some Knights. I really want to play Knights. So. I know my opponents may have an issue with it, but then again, my opponents, like, when I played Brawl when I played Brawl in the doubles, arguably, all of my opponents, at least 3 of them, at least 2 or 3, but I'd say even all of them had really competitive lists. Like, these were tournament lists. So, if my opponent brings a tournament list, and I run Imperial Knights, and they just can't deal with them, I'm not really too upset. I'm not a win-at-all-cost player, as you know. Like I don't play killing, the ultimate destructor lists. I've yet to play a triple Vindicator list. I have yet to play. I gotta get some Centurions. That's what I also gotta get for my Marines. But I don't play a competitive list. I just want to play Knights. I really do. I want to play 5 Knights. That was my dream, but it ain't happening anytime soon. So, but 4 Knights. And maybe a Vindicare Assassin, as I said. So 4 Knights. Put my Vindicare Assassin in cover. Obviously, people are going to try to deal with him early because he'll be the first blood target. But if I go first, he's a really easy way to get first blood on your opponent. Because like if you're running against Necron vehicles, you can't take cover saves against him. you can't, you can't jink. And then he's strength 10 against vehicles. So I'm going to use him as like my backdrop vehicle killer / objective scorer, probably. And I'm going to keep the formation. I decided I'm probably going to use the formation. Like, I've been really debating about now that I'm only running 4 knights, I only have choice between one formation and the standard detachment. The formation is called the Baronial Court. And it gives Imperial Knights a few bonuses, obviously. One becomes your Baron, and being your Baron, they get just the standard upgrade of +1 weapon skill, ballistic skill, and access to the relics. I decided maybe it'll be a good idea right now. I'm just gonna go through because I can just go weapons first and then eyes for the remaining guys. That way I don't need to constantly pick up and put down brushes. So that's the Baronial Court. But they also get Overwatch, providing they're within 12 inches of the HQ, which is not hard with Knights, right? Because their base size is gigantic. So Overwatch. Now, Overwatch, as I said, for most Knights, doesn't matter. Because Knights typically have a big, scary gun and like a heavy stubber. And the big, scary gun's usually a pie plate. So then you can't even, Overwatch with it, right? It's just big pie plated tomb. So Overwatch doesn't matter. But then you also get counterattack. Counterattack's nice. Extra attack. And that's not bad, counterattack's not bad. And you get a +1 to your front shield invul save if you're within I think 6 inches of another knight. So all you do is you run your knights in pairs, especially if you have 4. You just run your knights in pairs, and they're beside each other, so they all give each other a, the 3-up invul from the front. But it's only from the front. So that's the thing. Like, if your opponent is going to drop behind you, it's no bonus. And that's what you got to figure out, right? If your opponent's going to drop in behind you and say, hello. But, so that's the Baronial Court. So the main benefits of Baronial Court is Overwatch, which with the Forge World Imperial Knights is actually fun. Because the Forge World Imperial Knights don't fire blasts. They all fire shots. So there's a chance of taking out, a Terminator or two. Or some scary guys before they even get into assault. That's the Baronial Court, yes. And then Overwatch, counterattack, and +1 to the front invul save. Alright, that's Baronial Court. However, there's just the standard detachment, which the only benefit of the standard detachment is objective secured. And objective secured is really powerful. It's just one rule. But it is a powerful rule. And that's the thing. So the thing is with Imperial Knights is obviously you only have 4 or 5 models on the table. Right? I'm going to have 5 models on the table at the beginning of the game. So, do you really want your opponent who's playing objective secured, which any vanilla Marines player will most likely have objective secured, any of the formation players that have objective secured, right? Like vanilla Marines or Dark Angels can have their formations and have objective secured. So, if you don't bring objective secured, your opponent can just drop a drop pod in on an objective that you want and score it, even if you're an inch away from it. And you're the biggest, scariest thing on the table, and a simple drop pod will take your objectives away from you and hold them as long as that drop pod is there. Versus objective secured, where they can't do that. They can contest it, but they can't just drop in a drop pod and be like, oh, my objective. You know, that's really hard. It's hard to deal with that. It really is, especially with armies like orcs. I find the thing is, orcs are the worst codex in seventh edition. I don't think there's a worse codex in seventh edition. I love orcs. They're one of my favorite armies. I love to play them for fun, but they're just the worst army in seventh edition. They got the worst codex by far. Because orcs don't have objectives secured in their formation or their detachment, sorry, and their benefits kind of suck. So, but that's the thing. Like, your opponent just drops in a drop pod, and then you're like, oh, not only do you lose that objective, you have to deal with whatever's on the objective, and then if you don't deal with it, your opponent can just stand there and grab the objective the entire game, which really sucks. So, that's the debate. Should I take the baronial court and get Overwatch, counterattack, and better invul save from the front? Or should I just simply go with household detachment and get objective secured? And that way, if I have 4 knights, I can camp them all on objectives. If there's a multi-objective game like a Maelstrom game, right? That's 4, and I can put 1 objective in my deployment zone and put the Vindicare Assassin on it. So that would mean I could score all my objectives, and if my opponent doesn't run an objective secured army, which most won't, right? Most of them, like Eldar, Necrons, Dark Eldar, most Grey Knights, most armies, their detachments are better than the standard detachment, right? So they will be forfeiting objective secured unless the detachment has objective secured in it. And that is the case of, like, as I said, Dark Angels and Vanilla Marines. There could be like a White Scars bike list. I got sneeze. Oh, bless me. So, that's my big question right now. And I'll make the call tonight or tomorrow. I have to send my list in by Saturday. So I have a couple more days of thinking about it. Today's Thursday. And yeah. We'll see. I'm curious. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm thinking I might just take the standard and be a wuss and take objective secured. Because that's the thing, like, 2 of the games at Brawl, when we were in doubles, my partner had objective secured. And it won us the game. Because you can just jump on objectives. An Imperial Knight camping on an objective, it's pretty hard to get away. Yeah. So, we'll see. But I'm excited. I just want to try them out. And I really hope I face Stu in the last round. Stu, if you're out there painting. Stu is working on his Imperial Knights, and they look great. Stu is an unconventional painter, and I really like that about that. He tells me about how he paints, and I'm like, interesting. I want to try that out. Like, he tried using a marker for his golds, and it actually turned out really nicely. So Stu, if you're out there painting, I respect you. I respect that. So. Look at these guys. You guys are coming along. I'm excited. We're 33 minutes. Like, this is nothing. And I'm already kicking butt. They're not done. Like, they're almost done. Like, this could be in a battle report, and I don't think anybody would complain if this guy was in a battle report. He looks, he's definitely 3-color minimum. But I really want them all to look really nice. Good for the cameras. Yeah. I think there's going to be some really hard lists there. There's going to be Eldar Wraith Knights, Wraith Spam. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I don't care. I don't care win or lose. I'm just going to play Knights. I'm not bringing Knights to win the game. I'm bringing Knights to bring Knights. I really just want... I've not had a chance to play the new Knights since they came out because most of my Battle Report opponents really just don't want to face them. And I understand why. I really do. Nothing against them because, you know, they're an army that you have to know you're facing. Because if you don't know you're facing Knights and you end up facing Knights, you're either going to be well-suited or not. But it's like any other army, right? Like if you didn't know you were facing Eldar bike lists, and then all of a sudden you face an Eldar bike list, you're going to be in trouble. You know, if you don't know you're facing Ravenwing, or Eldar, or Necrons, or... You know, there's a lot of this out there now that if you don't know you're going to be facing what army, there's no way of defending. That's a tournament. That's what, so you bring a list and you hopefully have fun. And by the way, this week's painting tutorial in the Warp is Gaston Lacrosse. Here he is. Weird model. I don't know about the sculpt. I think that I actually like... This is the limited edition sculpt. And I think I actually prefer the non-limited edition sculpt. I don't like his sword. His angle of his sword just don't make sense to me, his daggers. But cool model. Just fun to paint up. I just like the one with the gun now. He's... for those of you who don't know, the reason is... when Privateer Press did their Kickstarter for their video game, War Machine Tactics, they had a limited run of a bunch of journeyman warcasters that were characters. And so I better move these guys here. And Gaston was one of them. And yeah, and then they did eventually they came out with non-limited edition ones. Which was cool. Wow. I just can't believe these. Yeah. Paint of the week? Well, probably next week sometime. Middle through next week. I'll have 30 more painted Tactical Marines. This is in focus. Let me see. I think it's in focus, yeah. 30 finished Tactical Marines. That's good. For my Green Wing. The power of just setting aside an hour a week. I paint a little bit more than an hour a week, obviously. But just get so much done. It's awesome. The year's almost over. That's scary. Christmas commercials are starting to play. The festive special is now at Swish LA. I don't know why I'm rhyming. Let's go play with Clay down by the bay. What do you say? But yeah, it's Christmas time. Obviously in Canada, typically stores don't go gung-ho until the day after Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day in Canada is 11/11. So November 11th. Yep. So usually then the next day is when the Christmas music starts playing at malls and grocery stores. I don't know what I'm going to get my wife this year. Got to think about her Christmas gift. Her birthdays, I always give her a combined birthday and Christmas gift because I usually spend a little more, but got to think about this year. I don't know. Yeah. It's going to be a busy time. Christmas. Oh, yeah. It always is. The year just flies by, but it's been a really good year in a lot of ways. Man, I was reading today about a news article. Most of you have probably already heard of it by now. This one guy in the States is dying. It really sucks. He has a really rare cancer. It's a connective tissue cancer. So his lungs have become tumors. All tumors. But his dying wish is to see the new Star Wars movie. Well, the problem is, though, it's not out yet. So I'm hoping that it happens. J.J. Abrams has... I think he's done it before. So I'm really hoping that it happens. Because he's he's a hardcore Star Wars fan. And even a couple of the actors, like Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, right? And some of the actors from the movie have gotten behind it and retweeted it and supported it. So I'm really hoping that it happens. That would be really nice. Really nice thing to happen. It would. Really nice thing to happen. To give a man his dying wish of seeing the Star Wars movie. Even cooler if like one of the actors or like the director just stopped by his house and watched it with him. That could happen. Mm-hmm. That'd be cool. So I'm really hoping that happens. So yeah, go check out the news story. It's sad, of course, because the dude is dead. Like the guy, by the time he got diagnosed, it's one of those rare ones that spreads quickly, and you're basically screwed. The second that you find out you have it, you're just basically it's just time, right? You're on borrowed time, and they only gave him 2 months to live, and that was like 3.5 months ago. But it progresses so fast that he probably won't survive. And like Star Wars, the new movie comes out in a month. It's about a month, 6 weeks away. But 6 weeks to a terminal cancer patient is obviously very different than 6 weeks to us. And I really hope that they are able to do something for him. My ghost white here, which I'm going to use for the eyes, doesn't seem to want to work right now. So I'm just going to empty the contents into my palette. So at the Metro, the grocery store I typically shop at, they do, this is why I'm getting my topics from, this is kind of funny. They do this thing right now with cutlery. You spend so much, you get a sticker, and after so many stickers, you get a set of cutlery or discount set of cutlery and stuff. And yesterday I got my set of long spoons. I thought it made my day. It was like, I got my spoons that I really wanted to get my spoons. And I thought to myself, wow, you're getting old when the highlight of your week is getting new spoons. They weren't even free. They were only like $5 or something, but still. So that was funny. I'm like, wow, I feel old. It's like the first time I was like, you know what? I really want to get a vacuum cleaner. So I bought a Dyson. It's like, yep, you're getting old when you want to buy a Dyson. Mm-hmm. What else? Oh, we got a new prime minister as of yesterday. Justin Trudeau was officially sworn in as new prime minister. And the funniest thing is, I didn't know about this until yesterday. I found this out that the old prime minister actually has to resign before the new prime minister is sworn in. He actually has to be like, I quit. I resign. He has to give his notice to the... Well, people don't know. If you're not Canadian, you may not know about this. But in Canada, the prime minister is not the highest position. Right? Technically, the queen is the highest position. And after the queen, it's not even the prime minister yet. It's the governor general. And the governor general, it's a pretty ceremonial position. But technically, you are higher than the prime minister. And you're the prime minister's boss technically. You like they're in charge of tiebreakers in the in Parliament, and they're in charge of a few other things, ceremonies. Obviously, they're the ones who swear in the prime minister, right? And yeah, you have to that. So technically, the prime minister had to resign to that person beforehand. So, and here's an interesting topic. Justin Trudeau, he officially decided ahead of time that he wanted half his cabinet. Now they have a cabinet after the prime minister is sworn in. What they do is they assign certain members of parliament jobs, like the ministry. He can become the minister of transportation, the minister of finance, the minister of tourism, right? Science. Actually, they created a position called science this year. And half their MPs were going to be women. He decided ahead of time. He said, half my MPs are going to be women. Or half my cabinet is going to be women. And I am very much an equal opportunity person. Very much so. I just don't know what I thought about he decided ahead of time half his cabinet was going to be women. And half was going to be men. It's kind of an arbitrary cutting, if you think about it. Like, he decided that, I agree that, it's nice that half are women, half are men, because approximately half the population is women, half the population is men. But, what if you lined up the best candidates for the job, and let's say 2/3 of them should have been women, or 2/3 of them should have been men, right? That's the downside when choosing an arbitrary value and then filling it in accordingly is he may end up with a subpar cabinet as a result. And again, I'm very much for equal opportunity and everything. But what I'm saying is the just simply choosing a number and filling it in accordingly, he could have been robbing women of a job because he had to give it to a guy because, again, half and half, or he could have been robbing men of a job because he had to give it to a woman. It just didn't. I don't know what to think about it, and I don't think what I'm thinking is sexist in any way or anything. I think to run the best government, you should give the best candidate regardless of gender. And that, to me, is what equal opportunity dictates. That women have, in every way, are put on the same level as men. And then, so you can remove gender from the equation. Completely remove it. And then just look at the credentials, right? Without caring about the gender of the individual. And determine who has the best qualifications. Now, obviously, in a lot of countries, and sometimes even in Canada, the person with the best qualifications could be the guy, arguably, because of gender inequality in previous generations. That I do agree with. But I just, I don't know, because I don't care about gender to me. As I said, I was raised by a single mother, and that's my background. And I was raised never ever thinking women are inferior than guys. Never. Like, it didn't even really. It was always weird to me when I heard about that in other countries, or even like, I know it happens in Canada, obviously, but it's. But to me, it was always weird to me how gender would play a role. So, I don't know what to think about it. I think it's great that he wanted to represent and ensure that his cabinet had a balance between men and women. That's cool. I like that. But the goal of the Prime Minister is to run the country, and run the country well. And he should run the country and not make it a popularity contest. Which I know obviously politics is, but he has the position now for 4 years. So, I don't know. What's really cool is the new MP of Peterborough is, I don't even know what it means, but she is now the Minister of, what was it called? Democratic Institutions. People are like, what does that mean? Democratic institutions. But that's cool. That Peterborough got an MP with a parliamentary position, or the cabinet position. Look at that. We're almost done the eyes. 10 minutes left. Life's good. Yeah, that to me, like whenever I think of equal opportunity, my jump to, why am I talking about this? I don't know. But my jump to is remove whatever that parameter is from the equation. So if it's equal gender opportunity, gender shouldn't matter, right? Make the same. You should look at the candidates for the position in the absence of gender. Like, don't even look at their names. Don't look at their names. Don't look at anything. Right? Like that. Remove the parameter from the equation, hire the person accordingly, and pay the person the same wage regardless. I don't know. I think that makes sense to me. All right, let's go to a better topic. What do I want to talk about this week? I don't know. Still raking leaves. I was talking to my buddy Patrick Dubois the other day. He has a lot of leaves as well. I can relate. I just realized I'm not filming this. I'm just talking and my hand's off camera. Oops. Just filling the eyes. It just takes a little bit of concentration to do the eyes. The dots in the corner. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking white scar and or ghost white technically, and then putting a dot in the corner of the eyes. Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this Age of Sigmar, or not Age of Sigmar, the Horse Heresy box set. There's 30K box set. That'd be cool. And done. Ah, the eyes are done. Now I'll just, what do I want to do? I do have a lot of excess paint on my palette. I'm going to put it back in the container. And then I will probably just work on the gaps in the armor for 10 minutes. And then call it a day. Watching a bit of hockey lately. Maple Leafs suck. That's all I'm saying. I know people are hardcore fans of them. But oh my goodness, they suck. They're a terrible team this year. Yeah. I know they're in the rebuilding stage. I think they've won 2 games out of like 10 games or 11 games so far. So it just baffles me how it's so expensive to go see a Maple Leafs game when they really suck. Like, what are you paying for? I don't get it. I don't know. It's like I could buy these 2 models or go see a Leafs game. Rather buy the models. So let's take some gray liner and paint the gaps in the armor quickly. And we'll do that for a while. and call it a day. Well, look at them; they're almost done. As the golds are left, a quick maybe edge highlight with a light green, like a moot green, warpstone glow cross, and then that's it after this step. And then golds, obviously. But the golds aren't going to take too long because it's just symbols. It's just the symbols on the gun, the forehead of some of the guys. So, look at that, one done. Yep, another one done. Good. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of sports anymore. I was watching a lot of baseball, obviously, because I was keeping with the Jays. And they got eliminated eventually. It's a good year, still. I got to catch up with The Walking Dead. I haven't watched this season yet. I used to be hardcore into The Walking Dead, and I kind of fell out of it last year. I got tired of it. So I'll catch up. I got to like power through last season and then catch up with this season. I'm not going to spoiler alert, but right now there's a huge debate whether or not a specific character is dead. I know that. I don't think he is, because the way that they usually kill off characters, they always do it certain ways. But we'll see. Maybe they're, intentionally trying to surprise people. I like Greyliner. I gotta pick up more when I go to... Next time I go to Gen Con, or not Gen Con, Adepticon, I'm gonna buy like 3 of each color. Because I've realized that I use it so often. I'm gonna create a shopping list ahead of time and just buy a bunch of paints. Because I know Reaper's always there. Sign up is like, in 2 weeks, it's crazy. As I said, the year is just flown by. I'm gonna have to make a compilation for New Year's Eve. Talk about the year. But it's a beautiful week here right now. Like, I can't believe I'm talking about the weather, but it's been such a nice week. My back just tweaked. That really hurt. But the weather here it feels like summer, like early summer here. It's been beautiful. I'm riding out on the motorcycle and not have to worry about being cold. It was awesome. It's a beautiful week. If this is the last week of the year, I'll accept that. It was our last good week of the year. For weather, cool. It's been a beautiful week. As I said, it's been quite the productive week. That makes me happy, When I know that this is like the 4th video you're going to see this week, this one might be out before, depending on the editing process, because I edit on 2 different computers for this specific video. But you're going to get like 4 or 5 videos this week. I got to do my Q&J. That's my really deep goal. I got to get the Q&J done. That'll be for tomorrow. But it's been a really productive week. That makes me happy. Did a bunch of videos, including obviously the Tau Codex and stuff. But and soon I'll have a bunch of Greenwing done. Next week, this will probably be Deathwing. Working on stuff. Just a touch-up week where I get them all, nice and spiffy. And then just work on other things. As I said, I don't know what I'm going to do after that. Probably either Necrons. I think Necrons would be fun. Or just work on a couple of commissions for a couple weeks. Get them done, and then start Necrons again. Because I haven't done any Necrons for a while. And I actually have enough. I have the models now for the Decurion detachment. I know I'm way behind everyone else. But I like to play some Necrons and battle reports. Obviously, it won't be still the most hardcore competitive list because I don't have those models yet. Yeah. But, to play some Necrons would be fun. Stu and I are eventually going to... I know Stu is anxious too. So Stu, we got to play a game sometime. Stu and I want to do a battle report where it's Imperial Knights versus Imperial Knights. That'd be fun. I don't know. I think it might be... I don't know if it'll be just like 10 minutes of footage. Because everything we do to each other will hurt. You know, like knight versus knight in close combat will just be who rolls the 6. As soon as the 1/6 is rolled, the other opponent's knight explodes and then can possibly blow up our knight. You know? And it's just, that's the kind of fun that would be, knight versus knight game. Or I think it'd be kind of cool if all we got was like secure objective 2 cards. Because then we have our knights just dancing around the table, not doing anything. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a really fun game. It'd be a rare game, because obviously Imperial Knights don't face Imperial Knights very often. And it'll be a quick game. As I said, when there's only 5 models, the movement phase will be like, movement phase. Done, 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 done. Done. Shooting phase. 4 shots. Nothing happened. Alright, continue. Assault phase. This guy's going to try to assault him. Alright. Both swing at the same time. Oop, both rolled a 6. That's the end of that chapter. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Just guy and knights just blowing up each other left, right, and center. We both table each other. It's going to be a good game. I am excited. So Stu, I know you're listening. You know that I respect your painting skills. Come play against me. Yeah. Oh, we're at an hour. Alright, I'll continue on for a few more minutes. I just want to get this one color. I'll get this one color done. It'll only take a couple minutes. And then we'll call it here. And all I have left is gold. A bit of a edge highlight. And then we're pretty much done. And then basing. Basing will take a few minutes. Because 30 guys to base. But you know, it's not going to take that long. It'll be good. They'll be done for next week. I forgot to check. I would love to see. I should go back through my old videos and guess how many models I've painted this year. I did 50 tutorials this year, obviously, so 50 models there. And then painting with Jay plus commissions, I probably am in like 300 region, maybe 400. 300 to 400 probably is my guess. Because like even this month, right, the last 2 weeks I've been painting these, this is my 3rd week in a row I think with them, but 3 weeks I painted, this is 26 guys, or 30, this is like 30 guys. So, that's not bad, it's a good ratio. And then I painted the orcs, no it wasn't orcs, orcs were last October. So this year it was Necrons at one point. Tyranids for a lot of the year was just Tyranids. But I painted a lot of Tyranids. Or a lot of points in Tyranids at least. So, they're done. All the Tyranids are good. Well, no, they're not all done. I still have more little dudes, like Hormagaunts and Gaunts and stuff. Done. It's good. Good stuff. He doesn't have a gun, but I'll just say he's a bolter guy. Good. Done. 2 left, and then we'll call it. Good. Done. Oh, actually his hand. Excellent stuff. And is he done? Yep, he's done too. Good. So we'll call it here. So that concludes another painting with Jay. I really hope you enjoyed this painting with Jay. And painting along, got a lot of work done. Good stuff there. Yeah. And they're coming along, as I said. They'll be done for next week. And then I'll start on some other things. So, yeah. But as always, thank you so much for painting along with me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And stay tuned for next week's episode and more content, obviously, this week. Because I'm going to kick butt this week and get a lot of work done. Yes. So thank you very much for painting with me. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting with Jay.